I am 79 years old, and I have spent the last 10 years living in a house that is far too quiet. I sit here in the evenings, watching the shadows stretch across the floor, and I realize that I am the architect of my own loneliness. It is a heavy thing to carry, the realization that you've traded a lifetime of warmth for a few decades of numbness. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. At my age, pity doesn't do much. I am telling you this because I'm running out of time. And the truth is the only thing I have left to offer. When I was in my 30s, I didn't think I had a problem. I was a foreman at a construction firm, a man's man, or so I thought. Drinking was just part of the landscape back then. We'd finish a job, go down to the tavern and have a few rounds to take the edge off the day. It felt reasonable and earned. I was working hard, putting food on the table and making sure my wife, Martha, had a decent life. I told myself that a man deserved a way to unwind, never seeing the glass in my hand as a weapon, but as a reward for my labor. I assumed I was in control because I never missed a day of work and the bills were always paid. Martha was patient for a long time. She was the kind of woman who could make a home feel like a sanctuary, even when the world outside was falling apart. We had two children, Leo and Sarah. In the beginning, I was there. I remember the smell of the grass when I'd play catch with Leo, and the way Sarah would fall asleep on my chest while we watched cartoons. But slowly, the drinking started to take up more space. It wasn't a sudden fall, just a gradual shift in priorities, where the tavern stays longer and the just one more became 5 or 6. I'd come home and the kids would already be upstairs. And Martha would have dinner waiting, but she'd stop asking me about my day because she already knew the answer. By the time I was 45, I was physically present, but emotionally absent. I missed Leo's high school graduation ceremony because I'd started drinking early that day and was passed out on the sofa. I told him I'd make it up to him, that work was stressful and I just needed to rest. But I didn't see the way he stopped expecting anything from me. It's a terrible thing to watch your children learn that their father isn't someone they can rely on. The damage accumulated quietly, like dust in a room nobody uses. I chose a cold beer over a conversation with Sarah about her first heartbreak, and a weekend bender over a family camping trip. I assumed there would be time to fix it later, but children don't wait for you to grow up. They just grow up without you. The turning point came on my 60th birthday. Martha had organized a dinner at the local restaurant, and I showed up late, smelling of bourbon. I was loud, arrogant, and I said vicious things to Leo that were really just reflections of my own failures. Martha didn't scream or cry. She just looked at me with a profound, exhausted sadness and said, I can't do this anymore, Frank. She left the next morning. It wasn't a threat. It was just finished. I thought if I finally got sober, they'd all come running. I've been dry for 15 years now, but sobriety doesn't give you back the time you lost. It only gives you the clarity to see exactly what you threw away. When Sarah got married, I wasn't invited to walk her down the aisle. She sent a note saying she didn't want the risk of a scene. Leo calls me once a year on Christmas for 5 minutes and then he says he has to go. They aren't angry anymore, they're just indifferent. I am a footnote in their lives, a cautionary tale they tell their own children. That is the part they don't tell you about regret. It's not a sharp pain that goes away, but a dull, constant weight. I see photos of my grandchildren on social media, kids I've never met, and I realize I will never know the sound of their laughter. I spent 30 years building a wall between me and my family, and now I'm the only one left on my side of it. I want to speak to you directly, especially if you're still in the middle of your story. You think you have time and that the people who love you will always be there waiting for you to get your act together. But love has a breaking point. You can only let someone down so many times before they decide that their own peace is more important than your presence. Don't wait until you're 79 to realize that the most important thing you'll ever own isn't a house or a career, but the trust of the people sitting at your dinner table. If you're choosing your own comfort over the people who need you, just look at me. I have the house and the pension, and I am utterly, completely alone. The past is a locked room, and I lost the key a long time ago. I am tired now, my legs ache, and the house is getting cold. I've said what I needed to say, not for my own sake, but for yours. If this story stirred something in you, maybe take a moment to reach out to someone you've pushed away. Don't wait for a better time. There is no better time than now. I think I'll sit here for a while longer before I turn out the lights. It's a long night ahead, but I've learned to live with the quiet. It's the only thing I have left. Take care of yourselves, and please, take care of each other.